Hey, Miss Christian here. So I hope y'all can hear me over my car and my air because I had to keep both on. But I had wanted to come on here today to talk about the struggle. And not so much the struggle, but like getting out of the struggle. If you're a person like me, like you have goals, you working towards them, and it's like you making progress. But I've had like this analogy that feeling like I'm on a treadmill. Like I'm moving fast, I'm sweating, I'm putting in the work. But when I look back and look around, like I haven't really went anywhere in my mind. So, I just wanted to come on here today to talk to, people who may be feeling like that as well. And kind of how, and explaining how I'm getting through it, how I'm still able to push on without beating up on myself, and just the psychology behind how hard it is to break generational curses, to be a chain breaker, to be the first person in your family to leave a legacy, to, leave something for your children. I really want to explain different things to make you grasp like how hard it is to do what you're trying to do. Like how hard it is just to do what I'm trying to do. And the decision that you're making to do it alone, like just to do it, just to make that decision is a huge leap forward. So let me take a step back. So I was reading a book. I was either reading a book or I was watching some kind of documentary, and they had did an experiment on monkeys. And so it was like monkeys, gorillas, something. They had did an experiment on monkeys. I'm just gonna say that. And they had chained the monkeys up, and when the monkeys went to climb the tree, the chain snatched them back down. So every time the monkeys went to climb the tree, the chain would snatch them back down. They would get a little bit further, and then the chain would snatch them back down, and they would hit the floor. Boom, hit the floor hard. And depending on how, some of them will like stretch their limbs, everything to get up this tree. And when they couldn't stretch anymore, they would just fall off, boom, hit the ground hard. Then they took the chains off the monkeys. Some of the monkeys would not try to climb up the tree because they had an invisible chain on them. They had the memory of not being able to go all the way up this tree, sliding off, and boom, hitting that ground so hard. So they would not climb. Then the ones who was like, I see that it's no chain on me, I can go anywhere. Like, why are y'all sitting around like it's no chain? They had somebody up in the tree that they couldn't see because of the leaves and all of that. So when the monkeys would go to the top and they would get to that certain point where they couldn't see the person in the tree, the person was actually holding a stick. And when the monkey got up thinking that it was going to reach the top of the tree, the person came out and boom, hit the monkey over the head and made it fall to the ground. So this is, like I said, it was either a documentary I was watching or a book. This was a real experiment. This was a real experiment that went on. And so once the monkeys would come to, they would try to climb up the tree again. The person would be in the tree with the stick, hit the monkey over the head, boom, and they would fall off the tree and fall onto the ground. So they did this over, the course of some months. of course, over some years. I think it's like months. They did it over the course of months. When the following year came, they started introducing new monkeys to the group, like monkeys that had not had the full experiment with the chain and all of that. They started introducing those kind of monkeys. And when the monkey went to climb up the tree, the other monkeys who were there and experimenting, like the chain, the getting hit over the head, all of that stuff, will go up and snatch the monkeys back down because they didn't want them to get hurt. Like, what are you doing? Why are you climbing? Like, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna fall. So they were going like, no, and grab the monkeys and snatch them down before they even got, too far up the tree. And when I had heard this, it was just talking about like the Black culture and how that symbolized what we have went through as African American people. And generation after generation, when people have tried to reach new heights, they either had a chain on them, a systematic chain on them. They only allowed them to get so far before it snatched them back down. Or they had, then the next generations will go even further and think that they're going to get to the top, but then it's something waiting at the top that's going to beat them down and make them fall even harder than the generation before because of the height that they reached. Then the third option is you have now where we have like so much opportunity as millennials. And when we talk to generations before us, they are encouraging because they love us, but they don't understand. It's really not anybody really to talk to about trying to climb heights and trying to break generational curses, because the fear your mother, your father, your aunts, your cousins, whatever, it's a fear that has been placed into them generation after generation, a fear that they were born with, that now when you say that you're trying to climb a height, it's like, don't do it. It's scary because they don't want to see you fall. They don't want to see you get hurt to that magnitude. And so the fact that you're even trying to climb a height and knowing that this fear is actually in your DNA. I know you probably have like heard, like, you know about birthmarks and stuff. And it can be a child that's born with a birthmark of their father, and their father was not born with that birthmark. Their father could have gotten into an accident. Their father could have gotten stabbed. Their father could have gotten burnt. Different things like that. And now they are born like with that birthmark. Like, for instance, my dad, he was in a fire. He was in a fire, and like it burnt most of his body. And he lived and everything like that. I had to go through a lot of surgery for that. And then I was born probably like a couple of years after that traumatic, event had happened with him. And I have eczema. He has eczema too, but I have eczema. And a lot of my eczema looks like burn marks. Like it looks like that, like how it flares up, how different, like how my hyperpigmentation can be on my body at times. when I'm going through a flare, it looks like burns. And I've like when your burn has healed. And I've never been in a fire, you know, by the grace of God. But it's like I was born with a birthmark from his traumatic experience that he wasn't even born with. It was something that happened to him. So each generation that is born with a different imprint, different fears, different belief systems, different thoughts, different just like if you suffer from depression and you're depressed while you're pregnant, you're a mom who's depressed while you're pregnant, when your baby is born, you know, like sometimes they have a weakened immune system. A lot of things happen because of the state you were in when you were pregnant with them. And so each generation that is born has been embarked with an imprint from the generation before. So that's why I say you have to like take time out to smell the leaves and just to not beat yourself up because you are like breaking a lot of chains. You are going against every single internal belief system that you were born with, that you learn, that you experience, like every single belief system. If you guys have not read Four Agreements, like please read Four Agreements. I have a link to Audible in the description box. But when I read it, it was something I already knew because I just read a lot of books like that. But if you are like in the beginning stages of trying to understand the mind, understand like why you just can't get past a certain point with the way you think, with the way you believe, with like self-sabotaging, like all of those different things we go through, why you fall into like just doom or feeling like stuff is too much, why you have anxiety, why it's so hard to get out of your comfort zone. Definitely read Four Agreements. It breaks down the mind, the psychology of that. It breaks down of how our perspectives, what we seen, what we believe in, what we got taught, our experiences, how all that has imprinted on us. So to actually go against it is like we're going against ourselves. To go against everything is like we're going against our family. But like I said, the first and foremost is we're actually going against ourselves. So if you are a person who is raised in the struggle, trying to get out the struggle, just tired of the struggle, you first have to try not to beat yourself up and to know like it's not going to be hard. It's not going to be easy because everything that you're going to have to do is basically you denying things that you do as a person, like things that make you up as a person. You're going to have to relearn a lot of different things, a lot of different healthier habits, a lot of different belief systems just to be able to get to that next level. You know, it's going to take even some selfishness, and that's big when you're a person who's coming from like a low income, the hood, the ghetto, the struggle. Like to have a stage of selfishness, to focus on yourself is one of the hardest things you're going to have to do, because when you are raised in the projects, when you grow up in the projects and you raised in the projects, you like, it's just a community. You auntie so-and-so gonna watch the kids. This ain't really your auntie, but she just like, she always watch neighborhood kids. The one door is open for everybody to go have sandwiches. The lady across the street, she hand out popsicles. The man across the way, he got a candy store or whatever. You can go buy candy from him. Like all, like, so it's just a big old community. And you know, the belief system is created. If you have one loaf of bread, like you split them pieces up, like, and that one loaf of bread feed the whole block. As many people as you can hand out bread to, you feed the whole block. And so that's something that's instilled when you are raised like in the projects. I don't know if it's instilled with other different communities, because I haven't been raised in other different communities. But when you raised in the projects, like, everybody robbing Peter to pay Paul. Everybody only have a little bit. Everybody's stretching and stretching. You know, that's how you become to be so creative with food, because you might barely have something in the freezer, barely have something in the pantry, but you spread it up. Like, before you know it, it's a whole feast. And now it's like the neighbors coming over and eating, because the next few days or the next week, you might be broke. You might not have no food. And now this neighbor gonna help you and your kids eat too. And so it's just a community. And so, but when you're climbing, when you're trying to get out of that state, when you're trying to get out of that mentality, that struggle mentality and all of that, selfishness is necessary. And you have to be able to make sure that you good mentally, physically, financially, everything, before you start splitting up your pieces of bread. Like, you have to make sure that you have enough, and enough for you, and you give it out of your abundance. You give it out of stuff that you don't need, especially your energy, because your energy is going to be everything while you on this journey. And you have to really be mindful of your energy. You have to really keep your energy in check. You have to really, like, be able to check yourself when you veering off to being negative, or being like stuff ain't moving fast enough, or feeling like you should be at a certain place, being at a certain place at this time in your life, and you not. You have to really, like, know how to check yourself, know how to look at all what you've been through, that you actually witnessed and experienced. And then you also have been through a lot of stuff that has been imprinted on you, that's in your DNA, that you have no clue of. That, you know, maybe your mom, your dad, your grandparents, you know, been through a whole bunch of stuff, and they didn't even tell you. Like, it's just something that they only take to God. Well, the stuff they've been through, believe it or not, it passes down through DNA. And so different things you might be going through, you don't even know why you feeling this way, or why you know, don't want to be around certain people, or why you don't want to get out of your comfort zone, until you sit down and have a talk with your mom or your dad, and they tell you something, and you like, this is exactly how I feel right now. Like, and they've been through something, and that feeling that they had was imprinted into your DNA. And so every single thing of, like, systematic racism and all of that is imprinted in your DNA. The struggle, and saying you cannot leave this community. That's what your grandparents went through. You cannot leave this community. It's against the law for you to leave this community. It's against the law for you to leave the ghetto. Well, that is imprinted on your DNA. So now that you're trying to get financially stable, and you're trying to get out of the struggle, you're battling with that too, that you wasn't even around to witness, but it's imprinted on you. So think about all of that, and then everything that you have went through. And you might be thinking of struggle as financial struggle. I would want to challenge you to stop thinking of struggle as financially. Like, when you say, I'm just tired of struggling, like, don't think of it as financial. Look at your life and see what different traumas that you have healed from. See what you've been through, and that you still able to smile. Like, see what kind of parents you had. If you had a mom in your life, how your mom treated you. Or if you didn't have a mom in your life, and you was like raised in a foster home or something like that, but you still able to go to the park and play with children, you know, if you've had miscarriages and all kind of stuff, and you still able to go to the park, play with other people's children, watch people's kids and all kind of stuff, and not feel like, you know, depressed about seeing another child that's not yours because you might have lost one. Like, just all of those experiences and traumas that you have went through, like, I challenge you to, like, go through them and see, like, what you have healed from and what you overcame. And that's part of, you're not struggling in those areas, and that is the foundation. Mental health is the foundation of financial health, because the thing is, you can have a whole lot of money and not worry financially, but still be going through hell, like still have nobody to talk to, still be going through trauma, still be going through abandonment issues, PTSD issues from abuse, like all of that stuff, where you don't even, like, once you get the money and you done bought everything there is to buy, and you done shopped, is, you know, as much as you could shop, you so exhausted, and this is your everyday life, like, you don't have to worry about financial stuff. Well, when the financial burden is taken off, whatever is at the forefront of our mind, that's what we're thinking about. Like, whatever burden we have usually goes to the forefront of our mind. So if financial is, if you're like financially, I'm trying to get my words together, if you're not financially where you want to be, and that's a burden for you right now, then your financial struggle is at the front of your mind. But say you were completely financially straight, what other stuff could you be working on that you ignoring right now because the focus is so much financially? Because once you get the finances, then now, if you haven't healed and dealt with a lot of the stuff that's in your head that's bothering you, that's going to become the forefront of your mind, and that stuff can take you out of here way faster than being broke ever could. So I just wanted to come on here today to talk about that. I know, like, I'm usually doing shopping videos and different things like that, but at this moment in time, like, I just have to move myself with the spirit, and I want to, you know, relax y'all. I know my videos can sometimes be relaxing. I want to relax y'all, entertain y'all, but I also want to elevate y'all, and I also want to let y'all know, like, that y'all not alone. Like, for the people who are feeling like me, feeling like I have felt, feeling like I'm feeling everything, like, I want to get on here and talk to y'all to let y'all know, like, y'all not alone. Y'all not alone. I have my email address in the description box, so, you know, you ladies and gentlemen, y'all are free to email me, and, you know, we could talk through email. Everything is anonymous, and, you know, all of that, but we could talk through email if you just need somebody to talk to, somebody to vent to, because, like, I know a lot of times I be needing that, and, like, I just be feeling like nobody really understands. Like, somebody can listen to you, and sometimes that's all you need is a listening ear, but sometimes you need, like, a person that is going to understand where you coming from with love. Some people can understand where you coming from, but like, put the blame on you. I don't want to put the blame on you, neither do I want to make you a victim. I want to encourage you, and I want to be able to respond to you with love and with you know, understanding, because I understand what you're going through. I might not be in your exact shoes, because everybody has different levels of struggle, you know, but I've been in the shelter with my kids before. I've, you know, experienced a lot on this journey. I would not take anything back. Like, it's all made me the person who I am, and the things that I've witnessed, like, just in the system of being, you know, on Section 8 and food stamps and all of that stuff, I witnessed a lot of broken things. It's very broken. The system is very broken. So that's why, you know, I'm pushing so much towards self-sufficiency, because I don't want to be a part of the system. You know, it's just very broken. So I'm thankful that I was able to witness this. So if anything, you know, as I grow, I kind of know firsthand what is going on and like different things that I can do to help. But yeah, I don't want to make this video too long. I already been over here for like 20 something minutes. Been talking to y'all for like 20 something minutes. But I just, you know, really think that it's time for us to stop beating ourselves up. Like, pat yourself on the back through the struggle. I don't care if you don't have the newest car. I don't care if you still renting an apartment. Like, sometimes you really got to take a step back and be like, I'm so glad that I got Section 8, because right now with inflation, like, I wouldn't be able to afford anything because the jobs ain't paying, you know. Or I'm so grateful that, yeah, I struggle to pay my rent every single month, but at least I pay it. Or sometimes I don't pay and they put that eviction notice on my door, but guess what? It sparked some grinding to me, to where I pick up some more shifts, I do some more things, you know, I do some hair on the side, I babysit, I steal a couple of plates, and I'm able to come up with that rent money, you know, like different things like that. You have to just be grateful, because a lot of people can't just hurry up and pick up no hustle, because of they just don't know, they lack the knowledge, they lack the ambition, they lack the health to even be able to babysit other people's kids, because they already got their own, whatever have you. So just every single thing, like, you have to be grateful for. Like, even if you don't have a car, I got enough money to buy a bus ticket. Even if you don't have money to buy a bus ticket, guess what? I can walk. My legs work. I'm so glad that I ain't got to beg nobody to take me nowhere. I'm so glad that I found a job that's right by my house that I can walk to. And I ain't got to ask nobody to do nothing. And I walk home, you know, and I'm at peace. I'm at peace. I ain't got to sit here and beg nobody for no ride. I ain't got to worry about giving nobody no whole bunch of gas money, because gas too high and ain't nobody running you nowhere for no $5 right now. So it's like all of that stuff you have to sit back and be grateful for. Like, you can choose to, you either making excuses, like I said, or you making progression. You either making excuses or you are making progression. And when you're trying to get out the struggle, it's really no time for a pity party. Like, you got to really give yourself a mental time limit on your pity parties, because they're gonna come up. Because it's tough. Like, it's hard. Nothing that you're doing is easy. Nothing you trying to do is easy. It's so hard. But you gotta say, like, it's been a week and I've been feeling down. Like, I just cannot get up out this funk. Like, I just feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. You know, everything that you just beating yourself up on, that's your pity party. You need to have a set time limit of how long you're going to do that. And then you need to brush it off and start focusing on the stuff that you can work on. You're not going to get, you know, 9 times out of 10, money ain't gonna just fall right on your doorstep like the Starks, you know, of a baby. Like, it's not gonna do that. So what else can you focus on than money? Like, what else can you focus on than the lack of money? Because the more you focus on not having money, the more that you're not gonna have money. So it's a lot of more stuff. It's probably more conversations you need to be having, you know, things you need to be working on, even with yourself, like around the house, structure, kids, like a lot of different things. Maybe picking up a hobby. It could be a free hobby or a very inexpensive hobby. Like, doing stuff that makes you happy, that you can actually live for today, because tomorrow's not promised. So do you want to wake up being 60, 70 years old saying, wow, man, in my 20s, in my 30s, in my 40s, only thing I did was stress about not having money and stress about a relationship and all of that, and I didn't even focus on what I really liked. I just stressed about me struggling. Like, I knew I was working to be out the struggle, and now I'm 60 and I have the house I want, I have everything I want, but I wish I would have took that time to not stay so focused on the money and like focus on that I was able to walk and able to enjoy my youth during this time. Because every day we wake up, we getting a day older. That's one thing that don't stop for nobody, is time. And so you either going to use your time to make excuses, to have a pity party and complain, or you're going to use your time to progress. You're going to use your time to enjoy it. You're going to use your time to grow and just focus on what makes you happy while you're still getting up out the struggle. So that choice is yours. Like, nobody can make that choice for you of how you're going to choose the day to go. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. Like I said, I miss Christian, and I just, it's a lot that's been on my chest. And can you tell? It's a lot that's been on my chest, and I will be doing more videos because it's a group of women, probably men too, but I know that most of the people who watch me are women. It's a group of women, because I get y'all emails and stuff, and y'all working, man. I'm just so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. And I want to have a community of chain breakers, women and men of chain breakers, who we are whole as people. I don't want to just come on here and talk about money or business or how to get money, but we broken individuals. I feel like that's a huge generational curse that we should focus on too, of being healed and whole individuals, and not passing on the exterior. As long as you look nice, as long as you have money, as long as you keep yourself around the right friends and like the facade, like, because money or having riches was unobtainable to our community. So the facade of making sure that you look nice, you look like all of that, the exterior, it was a lot of pressure and priority put on of how the exterior looked. And when the doors shut, it was hell going on. And so we was taught what goes behind closed doors stay behind closed doors. And so, and that's not, my situation personally, just my situation personally. That's a generational curse of the Black community. If you are the Black community that was in the struggle. Now, if you grew up and your parents was, middle class or whatever, you might have not experienced that. I don't know. But, if you grew up in the struggle, it's like that was the big thing. And so now we're still focusing on exterior things, how to have the nicest car, how to have the nicest house, how to be able to show this and that and look the part, but ignore all the other stuff and say we're going to get to it later. And so then when we have the money, we depressed because everything around us is crumbling in, because we refuse to really focus on it. We refuse to, we taking no accountability for the things that were in our control and the things that are not in our control. And accountability, I'm gonna do a whole other video on accountability, because I think that is something that actually needs to be addressed. Yes, a lot of things we do, we are victims, but some things we are volunteers. And so I'm gonna be doing a whole video about accountability. So if you want to see that video, if you are not subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can get notified when I upload. Also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you like this. And in the comment section, if you want to, like I said, be open, like tell me how this video, if this video helped you, what you've been going through and different things like that. And then if you want to just get some more encouragement, or you're going through something and you didn't want to put it in the comment section below, just send me an email. And my email, like I said, is in the description box. The link to Audible, which is for you to listen to, Amazon, for the get 4 agreements, you get up to 2 books for free. And then it's a 30-day free trial as well, so you're not paying for nothing and you get 2 books. So yeah, that's all in the description box too. But yeah, I'll leave y'all until next time, y'all. Bye.